is the way we're being told to keep others safe as we continue with some semblance of normal life. Just one problem. The supply of tests is said to be, well, patchy. That is the verdict, at least, of the Association of Independent Multiple Pharmacies, an organisation which represents small pharmacies. Its chief executive, Dr. Leyla Hannbeck, joins us on the line. Morning to you. What are your members telling you?
Good morning. What members are telling us is that demand for the lateral flow test is very high at the moment due to the current guidelines, obviously, around self-isolation. And pharmacists are reporting that every 5 minutes approximately, somebody comes into the pharmacy and asks for tests. But unfortunately, because of the issues around supply being patchy and inconsistent, it means that those who come for the test don't always get it, which is very stressful, not just for the pharmacy team, but also for the patients.
I'm sure lots of people listening are familiar with seeing a sign on their local chemist or pharmacy saying no lateral flow tests. Are you finding that is a question of an hour or two, a day or two? What's the scale of the problem?
The scale of the problem is huge because the demand is high because of the current guidelines, and people are doing the responsible thing by, wanting to be tested. And we are actually within the Christmas area time, and New Year is just around the corner, and people want to be with family and friends, and they want to be, tested and go out and be with their family and friends.
So when you talk to suppliers, what are they then saying as to why the kits are not coming in? Because the UK Health Security Agency says they've doubled the number of kits available since the 18th of December. It's now 900,000 test kits per day.
It just isn't simply enough to meet the demand, and it's patchy. So some days you get one box, one carton delivered to you. Some days you don't get none. So it just isn't enough for pharmacists to be able to give to the patients.
Are you able to tell, though, whether this is a delivery problem, whether it's not a supply problem, but the existence of enough tests to go right round the country? Or is it simply one of those things which is a couple of bank holidays, everyone's been told in England at least that there will be no rules and restrictions on them for New Year, and therefore inevitably there's very high demand in the short term?
Well, Nick, this has been going on for some weeks now, and what we are asking the government to do is to ensure that they promptly address the supply issues to meet the high demand, and also address the cumbersome processes around, supply of this, the bureaucratic process around it, to make sure that as pharmacists we can provide those for our patients, because we are well placed to do so.
Now, going to your pharmacy is not the only way to get a test. Of course, you can go online and ask for a home delivery. We've just had a quick look at the website now that says there are no home delivery slots left. But the advice we get is that you should keep going back every couple of hours. You can take a new look. In other words, those messages don't necessarily last for a whole day. That supply issue may change. Do you find, Dr. Hannbeck, if your members pick up the phone to the right people, that you can make a difference to that supply?
We want to make sure that the message is clear to the government that the supply needs to be consistent, that they understand that demand is high and people are being responsible and they want to be tested. And pharmacies are well placed because they're accessible and people can get it easily from pharmacies if the supply is consistent.
That's what they need. Well, Dr. Leyla Hannbeck of the Association of Independent Multiple Pharmacies, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
The time now.